America is about its middle class. That is America. And directing policies towards strengthening the middle class, seeing things through the lens of the middle class, understanding from the beginning the core economics of the middle class, that has to be both the starting point and ultimately the goal of how we drive our economy. It's easy to think that consumer protection is just a sort of, it's only about families, it's not really, it doesn't have big economic impact. We have to remember this crisis started one bad mortgage at a time, one household who got tricked, one household who got trapped, until that aggregated into millions of households, inflated this terrible real estate bubble that was destined to crash, brought in the slicing and dicing and mortgage-backed securities, and got into the whole fancy financial products. They were built initially on deceptive consumer products. That's where the whole game started. We fed risk into this system from the front end. So in my view, the consumer part of all of regulatory reform is both about the economic stability of middle-class families, but also the economic stability of the economy. If we can get it right at the front end, what kind of financial products do you feed into the overall system, then we just dial back the risk in the system. I think the message is out there. I think the one place it's hard to hear it is here in Washington. I'm just stunned. I go any place outside this zip code. I go in any grocery store in America, and I go in lots of grocery stores. I walk through parking lots. I talk to people, when I sit and have lunch. People get this. Can everybody rattle off Consumer Financial Protection Agency? No. But do they get the notion that the banks cheated them on the front end and the banks caused the crisis? The banks then, having cheated these people, turn around and ask those very same people for a bailout, got the bailout, and have rebuilt exactly the same profit model, that they continue to squeeze families through these consumer financial products, and that Washington hasn't fixed it. What we have to remember every time we look at this, how many people have already fallen through the cracks? How many people, and there's some dispute over the numbers, is it 1 million, is it 3 million, since this crisis began to unfold, who've already lost their homes. So every time we talk about these numbers, we're talking about new people losing their homes. How many people have already gone through a short sale where they gave up all the dreams they had and they did it voluntarily? How many people have just mailed back the keys to the mortgage company and they don't show up in the stats in foreclosure? But they've lost not only what was their real grub stake in America, their real savings plan, in many ways their real retirement plan, pay off that house and live on Social Security. They've not only lost that, they've lost the single biggest and most visible indicator that they're part of middle-class America.
And the government's failed them so far.
Their government is just not there for them. The government was, it was there for Citi and Chase, you name it. That the Wall Street banks, the government was on top of that. Henry Paulson was in there in a heartbeat. Henry Paulson was deeply alarmed that Goldman Sachs could be in peril. But I never heard any alarm from Henry Paulson that millions of American families could lose the only thing of value that they had a piece of.